So why do I even have to care about micro-fulfillment? First off, what is micro-fulfillment? Why should I even care?
Yeah, so it's coming from, I mean, there are many reasons to adopt microfilament, but as far as we are concerned, the big trend that we see is the need for same and next day delivery. You can argue like about the percentage of products that will be delivered
And we all
that
want
way.
that.
We all want that, and there are many benefits. It's not, and I'm not talking about the 15-minute delivery that's very popular in the press these days, but really about just getting things same or next day. I was operating a lot in Asia Pacific and Europe before, and it's about 50% of everything that's getting delivered either same or next day. In the US in 2000 it was 30% according to McKinsey, and it's growing. And this year in 2022, still according to McKinsey, it's 70% of companies getting ready to offer that level of service. So whether we like it or not, it's a phenomenon. It's
what consumers
happening.
want.
It's happening, and it's not just another service that like all of a sudden we need or don't really need. Actually, there are many things associated to this service level that are intrinsically very good. First, for e-commerce, when you deliver with that speed, you have a much lower return rate, and that's super key.
If I could offer something up here just to set the table a little
Yeah.
bit. 10, 15 years ago, if I was wanted to do some fulfillment, I would say, I want one location, maybe in Indiana, because it's one day to 65% of the US, 2 days to another. And I might, if I was really successful, say, I'm going to get a warehouse in Indiana. Maybe I'll get one somewhere out west, maybe in Reno, right? And that would be it. That does not support same day, next day. So now all of a sudden we have to get that inventory. If I'm going to do same day, next day, I have to have that inventory close to the consumers. And before we hit record, we were talking about this. Let's just say we're talking about San Francisco. I can't go to San Francisco and say I need 1 million square feet of warehouse space. That is not going to come very easily. But what I can do is get a much smaller piece. So what would you say a micro-fulfillment warehouse? What is the size normally on that?
So it's dictated by actually density of demand. It all comes from there. So you're right. The logic is I can't do same day if I don't have my inventory in the urban location I want to deliver at. So from there, what's the space that's available for me to best organize my delivery routing? And if you want to have an efficient delivery, you need to be located very close to your customers, and you need to have in a 20-mile radius enough demand to load your vans with more than 150 orders. So that it all comes from there. So then we can argue, we could say, hey, if you're lucky, maybe you're going to find a 100,000 square feet location that's perfectly
still a big
suited
location.
for that. But is it available? Does it happen? Well, what we're finding, and we're going to talk about how we're deploying those centers, but what we're finding is that in terms of real estate, there isn't any available area above even 20,000 square feet. I mean, it's really hard to find, but you find a ton of them very well located below 20,000 square feet. So that's kind of the sweet spot that we found. But again, in terms of definition, I think the way to better position it is centrally located where my demand is. And it can vary a little bit, but it's all based on actually density of population. So it goes down to being in a very high density area, and because of that, it's usually below 20,000 square feet because that's the real estate that you can find.